Hey, DJ here from PTA. Want to go over a few trades. We got 3 to go over today. IMPP, HUSA, which was my winner, and JAN, which was the loser. So kind of want to go over these trades, kind of tell you what I was thinking in each one. I'm going to go over the market recap trade first. So let's just take an look over the SPY. As I told you guys before, and just to give you an idea, I told you the stock might bounce back up to this 417, 420 area. It kind of played around with it sideways, and then today it actually fell, and then it gapped down June 10th. So we're going to focus on June 9th. So I told you guys, I didn't think it was going to swing. I think they were just gearing up for the next leg down. And so I'm looking at this 380 area as being about $9 away. So we're looking at, a $9 flush. We going into a new low, and the market hitting a new bottom. So anyway, let's go to IMPP. First stock I want to go over. IMPP on the 9th. Good move on the 8th. Didn't pop up on the scanner. One of the reasons why this stock in particular don't pop up on my scanner is because of the price. So ultimately, it was a decent trade all the way around, but the key areas really was right here. Was really here. And then also here. So when I saw that on the chart, I understood why most people play. Now some of our staff played it. A few members in the Discord played it. The price that most people played it at was about that 84, 83 mark. I want to say 85. Let me go back and see. Yeah, it was 85. So 85 with an 83 stop. About right there. And then it actually took off and went to 97. Solid trade for the most part, especially after it had broke down and then recaptured itself right here. So right here, risking to this area probably would have been an ideal way. Most people like to play the breakout. So once it broke out and held, and then it kept going. Solid trade all the way around. A quick, 20 cent, 15 cent move. Was a really good move. Really good trade for those in the community that took advantage of it. Now the next trade want to go over. I'm gonna go over the loser first, which was JAN. Now JAN had been on the radar because it made a massive move. Really nice move with volume, 85 million the day, a couple days prior, which was June 7th. That's the day that I made money on. Gave a little bit of it back on this day on the 9th. So let's go look at it. Now my ideal was looking at the key areas. So one of the key areas being from off of there was this area here, right around that $4 mark. So going into the entry day, I was looking at it at $4, and then I also looked at it at let's see, I think it was the 420s. Let's go back and look at the chart a little different. 2 hour. Okay, so let me go get my order entry for you guys so we can get the price just right. Yep, so support was showing, let's see here, I think it was 440. Yep, 440. So if you can see here how this is the area that it pulled away from. Right here is where it bounced, took off, here, act as resistance here and here, and then this was new support. So what I was thinking coming into this, that I would probably place an order. Let's do here. So my actual order entry was, let's go back here. Yep, my order entry was actually right here. It says here on the order, it was right, yeah, 456. So my theory was, and this is a this was 440. All right, so my theory was, came back, respected, actually held right here, and then it came back and then showed the higher lows. So it made me get in here at 456. Came back, retested, actually hit my area of 5. Now the area off of 5 was based off the higher time frame of resistance. So let me show you that. Now if you look here, you can see where the stock kind of pulled up, and then it broke down from here, active support, the 456, and then it bounced right back up to 5 and came back down and then crashed. I mean, literally now looking at the chart, it did the same thing intraday. So let me repeat that one more time so that you guys can actually see that. Because in the moment, I actually didn't even see that now that I'm looking back at it again. Now, you know, I told you guys that this was major support, resistance off of the 5 because it respected there, and then it broke down. Look at how it broke right down to my price, which was here at 456. So when it actually broke down to my price at 456, it recaptured, and then it shot right back up to 5, and then it went back down to 456. And then later down to support at 440. Now if we look at that chart and then look at let's go back to the daily or the 1 minute. We go back and look at this chart. You see how it hit 5 2 times, which is the same 5 here. So it came back, hit. This looks like the same identical chart if you really look at it. Hit 5, pull back, and then it did it again. Ramped up, this was the carry, went back to 5, and then repeated. So right here, it did the same thing. 440, bounce, 456 entry, reached out to 5, and then returned back to 440. Did the same thing here. So amazing enough, you know, if you are paying attention to the patterns, you can kind of see them repeat themselves all over again. Same pattern. Same exact pattern. So 456, back up to 5, slam right back down to 440. So it just did it in a day versus multiple days. So that was like an acceleration in the case. So that was my losing trade. That was a trade I kind of ran heavy on because my theory essentially was that it was going to bounce and maybe get higher than 5, come back, and then go back up. The next area was 640. And then after that, it was like, you know, it can go anywhere. So that was what I was thinking. And I'm still looking for that trade. May not come this may not come to next week or whatever the case may be, but if this continue to run and continue to build some energy, then we might actually see that type of move. So that was something that I wanted to discuss in that losing trade. You know, looking at it, that is how I should have played it. Should have played it off the 456, got my money at 5, and then kept it going. But, you know, that's why we set stop losses, different things of that sort. I could have took profit, but I wasn't looking at the chart at the time. I had already set my stops. So once I came back and looked at the chart again and seen that I had lost in that trade, that's what made me knew that that trade went against me in that way. All right, so the next stock I want to go over is HUSA. Now, HUSA was a really good move. So what happened essentially on the 9th, we had this big rally on the 7th, 8th, and then the 9th was a bit of the consolidation, and then we had a bit of sideways price action today. So on the 9th, the way I played it was off of this area here. So let's go back to 4 hour. And what I was thinking in the trade was, let's go back to the 30-minute. Right there. So I'm thinking area was rejected, broke out, hit 860, came back, respected, broke away from it, came back to it sharply, came back down, and then respected again. So this right here from 722 to 692 was the area. This is actually the same area it broke out from, and then it respected, and then broke down from. So I knew that this was probably a zone or area based off of that. So going back down to the 1 minute, what I ended up doing was catching it as it was moving out that zone. So what happened is I seen it bounce, pull, rally back up, and then I seen it starting to come back down. So when I saw that, let me show you on the 5 minute. When I saw that, I knew that people were getting heavy in it. You know what I'm saying? I knew that this was a key area, knew that people were getting heavy in it. It was in the demand zone. So I looked at it and said, okay, maybe this thing got some legs to go. I didn't know it was going to go back up as hard as it did, but I was thinking it would go back up to 860. That's what I was shooting for, but I didn't get it. So I end up getting in right at 720, 724. So let me draw that line for you. Yep, end up getting right here at 724 off the 1 minute, risking to here, which was $7, about 20 cents. So the move I end up making, I mean, it ended up shaking out pretty good because I end up getting out at the 8s. So 20 cent risk, I end up getting out like right around here, about 796, 797 area based on my order entry. I was trying to hit that 8, but it didn't give it to me. And then it eventually went up and then it collapsed. So it was a pretty decent trade, a quick pop. It's not something that I just want to do like that, but you know, when you see these type of trades and then you can actually get in it or get involved, and as you can see, it used this zone and broke around from, hit that other line, bounced back up, and then it actually did the same trade again. Then it returned right back to that area and then fell again. So these zones don't ever really go away. They usually are being respected because they're, you know, supply and demand zones essentially. So that's the thing that, like, you have to pay attention to those areas to kind of give you an idea of where things are going, where things are headed in that direction. So that was the HUSA trade. Like I said, that was my winner, and then I had Jane as a loser. So unfortunately, that's the trade I ended up losing in. So unfortunately, it shook out to be a decent day, but ultimately could have been better. But you know, it's nothing you can really do. You just try to take the trades that you can, respect your risks as always. So if you do fall and have a situation where trades are not playing out, at least you're not blowing up your account, or at least you're not going through something and not seeing the trade as you should. Okay, so that was just a market recap. I actually did a video on the losing trade specifically, but I wanted to put in a winning trade on HUSA as well, just so you guys can see both sides of the trade and give you a full scope of everything. All right, so guys, as I tell everyone in the Discord and everything else, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button so we can get this content out to people and help people become better traders. And as I tell everyone in the community that trades, new traders, old traders, stay steady and stay focused.